Grand Rising, everybody. I just wanted to share a quick message with you guys about an experience that I recently had. Now, first and foremost, when you start to pivot into that space of speaking up for yourself, whether it's to your boss, whether it's to your partner, whatever situations, and a lot of times we end up biting our tongue because of the fear of losing our job or the fear of losing a partner or whatever. We're not really being our true selves, and we're not really speaking our mind about how we really feel. So I've been a nurse for 15 years, right? I've traveled for, a lot of those years, but I've never been canceled from a contract. I've never been fired from a job. I've never been written up. And that's not to say that I haven't made mistakes. It's just I take accountability for my actions. So if I learn things every day. I don't think I know everything. So if I did something wrong, let's sit down and have a conversation, right? But we tend to live in a passive-aggressive environment. And that don't just go for your workplace. That can go for just in general, in families and all that. Passive-aggressiveness is you talking amongst other people instead of talking directly to the person that you need to be having a conversation with. So, recently I was on a contract and I got my contract canceled. The reason for the cancellation, and this is not like in writing, but I saw what was happening in real time before it actually happened. Now, for me, I am slowly learning to detach from things, right? And being a nurse is something that I do. It's not who I am. So I don't think about nursing. I don't like to talk about nursing when I'm not at work. Like, I'm there for 12 hours. That's what it is. But when I'm off the clock, I'm a mother first, right? So this particular contract, again, no issues with the contract. Nursing is nursing. Maybe different unit, different hospital, whatever. It's all the same, right? This particular manager, initially when I first started the contract, she spoke, hey, how you doing? My name's such and such. Hey, I'm Dorothea. Nice to meet you, so forth and so on, right? So throughout as time progressed, she would speak when she saw me in the morning, this, that, and the other. So I get a text message on my personal phone, asking about education. So I responded, professionally, in my opinion, stating that, I've already responded via email regarding this education, that it will be completed by the deadline. And for future reference, I don't use my personal phone for work purposes. There's a group meet that was created when I started, that I was added to. If you can just contact me via group meet, I would really appreciate it. So, no response. Now, after that encounter via text message, when I saw her after that, there was no speaking. There was the energy. I can feel the energy shift, right? No problem. I'm not going to apologize for what I said. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, right? Now, how you feel about that don't have anything to do with me. So, shortly after that, I would have to say maybe close to a week went past, I get a call from my recruiter. My recruiter says, yeah, they're kind of cutting budgets and stuff like that, and they're going to have to cancel your contract. So I immediately kind of chuckled in the moment because I already saw it where it was going based off the energy that I felt after the encounter with the text message. And I chuckled to myself and I said, oh, okay. I said, so he was like, but it's nothing you did. I said, I know it's nothing that I did. Well, there's another contract that you can just be shifted onto, which is like the same unit. It was like a split unit. And by there being split units, there's two managers. So the two managers, they're actually friends. So my recruiter had already had a conversation with that manager. Like, yeah, basically, I don't know what the conversation they had, but I'm sure they probably said, this manager didn't want me no more because she canceled my contract. Her reason, I don't even want to get into, but it wasn't true, to make a long story short. And the other contract, they had already, the other manager, they had already had a conversation. And I said, He's like, well, you could just da-da-da. I said, no, I'm going to just take a break for a while. Well, I had already talked to her. I said, that has nothing to do with me. I never discussed anything with you and agreed to anything, so that's not my problem, you know. I won't be moving over to that particular unit. I'm good. I'll take a break, but thank you for the, you know, the offer. So that was that, right? So I said, do I cancel are they canceling right away? Oh, no, they're going to give you a 2-week, you know, let you finish up 2 weeks. Okay, no problem. So I still continue to work, this, that, and the other. And it was just awkward for her more than anything, because I still, you know, didn't change how I was moving. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not giving it energy because I already see what it is. I've never done anything to you other than speak my truth about how I feel in that moment regarding don't contact me when I'm on my day off. Like, I'm not available. And not just to not contact me, but I don't use my personal, like, we not cool like that. If it, like, for educate, like, we're not doing that. So when you start to really stand on your truth and speak your mind about how you feel, and the person that you're speaking your mind to has a problem with what you're saying, that's their problem. But you stay true to yourself, right? You stay true to yourself. You don't change up just because, to make somebody comfortable or no, absolutely not. So it was a learning lesson for me. But I'm very grateful to, over the years and through my experience, to not put all my eggs in one basket. Like, people intention behind the reasons they do things is like, again, I don't know what she was thinking. But to cancel my contract, you had ill intention behind that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I haven't in a long time, based off situations where, you think you got it all together. You thinking your job is safe. You think you got, you know what I'm saying? But always have a plan. Always have a plan. B, C, you know what I'm saying? And again, you can make plans, but the universe is going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. But it's going to align the way it's supposed to align as well. So I didn't look at it as like, dang, I lost my contract. I looked at it as a learning lesson for myself. You know what I mean? It didn't make or break me. It wasn't like, I can't find another job, this, that, and again, I don't put all my eggs in one basket. That wasn't my only source of, being able to work a job. And I'm sure a lot of people in the healthcare field can relate to that. You got PRN, you got so many different options that you have. But when you start really making decisions in your life that is best for you, you do not owe anybody an explanation. Not your boss, not your wife. I'm not even gonna say not your wife, because that's a different relationship where open communication is, very, very healthy. So let me not say your wife, but I will say your boss. I'm gonna say your family. And I don't mean that in a way where it's like you don't care about somebody's feelings. I'm not saying that. I'm saying whatever feels right in your spirit, whatever feels right in your soul, roll with that, right? And everybody not going to be okay with the decisions that you're making for you in your life, and that's okay, right? Long as it makes sense to you, that's all that matters. And how anybody feel about the decisions that you're making in your life, that's their problem, not yours. So being mindful of who and what you give your energy to. If a person asks a low-level question, I'm not even about to give energy to even answer the question. I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you an answer. I don't owe you an explanation. I don't owe you any of that. And I think after that encounter, I continued to move how I was moving. It wasn't like I was like, I'm about to lose my job. What did I do? Is there anything I could... Good morning. Because I know the universe got me. I know that everything happened for a reason. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not worried about a doggone thing. Is life for me and probably a lot of other people? Absolutely. But I'm still grateful. I'm still grateful to have breath. I'm still grateful to be able to have somewhere to live, to be able to pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people who can't. So I'm not going to complain about this or that, because it's not going to change anything. All I do is have control over myself. And if this ain't working out, then I need to choose different, right? So I'm learning to choose different. But I wanted to share that experience with you guys, because when you start to walk down that path of choosing yourself and doing what feels right and standing on that, you're going to lose friends, you're going to lose family, you're going to lose opportunities. And that's all part of the process, right? It's all part of the process. So I'm learning to break through or break away from attachments, whether it's my title as a job, because again, whatever you do, whatever your job profession is, that's your job profession, but that's not who you are as a person. You can be an excellent person at your job, like your skill set is on point, blah blah, dang, he is or she, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But as a person, your character, your morals, do you have integrity? Are you an honest person? So I go off energy, and energy never lies. So again, when I say breaking away from the titles, that means auntie, uncle, cousin, sister, brother. That don't mean anything to me the way I view life. It's about the relationships that I have with people. It's about the individual relationships that I have with people. Am I able to hold you accountable? Are you able to hold me accountable? Are we able to sit down and have a conversation if we have issues with each other, right? Can we talk about our traumas in our past? Are we able to have transparent and open conversations? And if the answer to that is no, then that's not a healthy relationship to me, and I'm cool with however it's flowing. I want healthy relationships. And even if it's not to that point where we're able to have those conversations, at least you're making progress on working on self. Well, you know you lack in a lot of areas. We all working on something, but at least you're trying to be a better version of yourself every day. If you can't do that, it's only so much energy I can really give to that relationship. And I'm just being 100% honest. I got too much time to be. I don't have time. I ain't gotta say too much time. I don't have time to be wasting my energy and time on things that does not serve me and my well-being. I do not have time. And that goes for anybody or anything, you know? So it's more going with what you feel instead of what you think. Most of our thoughts are not of our own, right? So what do I mean by that? Everything that you think has been programmed into you from your mom, your dad, society, environment, school, whatever the case may be. Have you really sat down and took 5 minutes in silence to really hear your thoughts, right? So we have to slow down, people. We have to slow down. Energy is everything. It's in everything, you know, and I'm very selective of who and what I give my energy to. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to tell you how I feel in real time. I ain't going to tell this person about how I feel about you. No, I'm going to tell you directly to your face. And it ain't that I'm cussing you out and all that type of stuff. Let's sit down and have a conversation. Let's sit down and have a conversation. And why is that so hard to do? If we're grown, you should be able to do that, right? You should be able to pick up the phone and call me like, hey, cuz, or hey, sis, or hey, whatever. You know what I'm saying? A person should be able to pick up the phone and call you if they have a problem. And if they're not able to do that, that's not a healthy relationship. And we live in a world where that's considered normal. Like, families are not, like, it's not about family anymore. We have to get back to that. So that's why I speak a lot about breaking generational cycles, being able to, because that's what I'm about. I'm all about positive energy and positive vibes. When you come around me, if it ain't nothing positive that's going to come out of my mouth, I'm going to just shut up. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to observe. I'm going to observe the scenery. I'm going to process what's going on. Because everybody it's not worth your energy. Everything don't deserve a response. Everybody don't deserve to get to know you. Because the old Dorothea, you know what I'm saying? Like, she has evolved. So you're not going to get the same conversations with me that you done got with me 20 years ago. You're not. You're not. So I encourage you guys to take a breath, take a pause, speak from your heart, listen to your inner self, your higher self, your intuition. Listen to that voice within and decide in that moment what's the best decision for you, right? And when it comes to these jobs, a lot of us identify with these titles. You know, it's like, because you're a manager, you have this superiority complex, like you're better than because you have this title, right? But for me, the way I look at life, I look at you as human beings, right, that happen to be a manager in this experience, right? You happen to be a manager, that's your career, good for you, that's great, right? A great accomplishment, you know. However, that's not who you are as a person, that's just what you do. So you're not going to think you're going to speak to me in a way and think that I'm not going to say anything to you because you're my manager. Okay. So with that being said, y'all, I just wanted to share, start to slowly break away from the titles. Start to slowly break away from the titles of what you do and who you are. Who are you? Who are you? Right? Speak up for yourself. And if speaking up for yourself may cost you your job, may cost you an opportunity that you really, really wanted, it wasn't meant for you. That's the universe making space for better things to come. That's all that is. You can look at it like, oh, woe is me, da-da-da-da. I mean, absolutely, that's so easy to do, right? Because that's what we're used to doing. But we want to try to choose different. Try to be more grateful instead of complaining. Try to be more grateful than complaining. It's so easy to complain. But if you don't like your situation, make a different choice. Choose different. Oh, that ain't gonna work. How you know? Have you tried it? No, I just heard. That's what they say. They who? Well, you know, on the news, how about you look it up for yourself? How about you research it yourself? Hey, I got a book for you to read. You know, that'll probably help you with that. People make time for what they want to make time for. And I choose to continue to make time for my healing, for my growth, right? Being a better mother, being a better human being in this experience. Studying and learning the tools to navigate through this experience, right? Protecting me from these different energies out here that we deal with different people. Ain't no, you know, oh, the devil is busy. You're busy. You attract what you are. We all have demons within us. Demons within us. We all do. Right? We all have them. But it's learning how to navigate, learning how to balance. Your ego ain't it ain't nothing but an ego. That's all. It's just your ego. The demon is the ego. And your ego is not necessarily a bad thing. The demon is not necessarily a bad thing, because we use it to protect us when it's the opportunity presents itself. You know, in situations, I'm gonna just speak for me. You know, working and stuff like that, I deal with different people every day, right? And I'm learning to not look at the world as black and white. But the reality of it is, that's how most people view the world, as black and white. So I deal with a lot of racist situations on a daily basis, and I choose to lead with love in those situations. I could easily use my ego and be like, you know, because I know who I am, and I'm about to get them a history lesson, and I'm about to da-da-da-da-da, but I'm wasting all my energy for what? So I'm in a space where I don't entertain ignorance. And ignorance don't mean that I'm better than you. It's just you're choosing to ignore the truth. The truth is all around you. So if you steadfast on what you know and believe, and you stay hold on that, I'm not about to try to change your mind. I'm not about to try to, because of all the encounters that I have has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the person in that situation, because my energy is going to expose the shadows. I know that. I see it every day, but I still love everybody. But we all got work to do. We just need to take a step back, start taking accountability and responsibility in our lives, so we can choose different, right? And choosing to balance, you know, our inner demons that we all battle with. I can say it's the devil, somebody outside yourself all day, but it's you at the end of the day. It's a battle, you versus you. You versus you. It's all about your thoughts. It's all about controlling your thoughts. You think a crazy thought, think another thought. Right? So, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I say that a lot, but I don't give a damn, to be honest. I want to vibrate with the people that's on my frequency anyway. So it's cool. I don't lose no sleep on it. I sleep good every night. But I love everybody. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to find, you know, they who they really are. Tap into themselves and really find out how amazing it is to have inner peace and inner joy. And yeah, I'm rooting for everybody. Because this world is crazy, so I want y'all ass to wake up. But I know that's all only in divine's time, right? So I done said my piece, y'all. I shared my little experience about my little job, and I'm very proud of how I handled that, because I don't feel bad about how it turned out, but I'm glad that it turned out the way that it did. And that's just demons that she have to work on within herself, for canceling my contract for no apparent reason. Because my spirit made her uncomfortable. That's not my problem. But I still meant what I said. And I still want you to have a good day. So with that being said, you guys, I hope you guys are reading. If you are reading, let me know what you're reading. Maybe you got some recommendations for me. So hopefully you guys are reading. Hopefully you guys are challenging yourselves to be better, to grow, to evolve, to be a better you every day. We all got things we need to work on. I know I'm working on being a better mother every day. And when you have to really accept the decisions that you made, and you have to really, you have to own that. It's not an easy thing to do. But when you start accepting responsibility and you start taking accountability, then your eyes starts to open up to the truth all around you, and which has been all around you the whole time. So again, I encourage you guys to tap into yourself, to read, to challenge yourself, to step into that path of really living your life. Really living your life. That's saying to laugh, to keep from crying. Because stuff gonna start tumbling down. You're gonna lose people as you grow and evolve. You're gonna all that. But then you're gonna laugh to keep from crying because you understand it's part of the process. You understand it's part of the process. I love you all so much. I'm rooting for y'all. I'll shoot another video whenever I feel on my spirit to shoot, but I just wanted to share that experience with you guys. Hopefully you guys can resonate with that, especially those in the healthcare field, working mothers, you know. We have to put ourselves first. We have to put our kids first, you know. I mean, we spend so much time at these jobs. We spend so much time at these jobs, and at least for me, with doing that, you're missing out on the most pivotal times in your kids' development when you're working. So now I'm transitioning from a state of doing to a state of being. Right? I just want to just be able to get up and just do what I want to do when I want to do it. Right? But I understand it's a process to get there. So now I'm buying back my time. I want my time back to be able to do what I want to do. So, as always, you guys take care. Love you. Ashe.